Have you ever really wondered what's going on inside a model like ChatGPT? When it's writing an email or coming up with a poem? Well, today we're going to peek under the hood. We're actually going to build a simple version from scratch just to see how that core engine really works. So let's dive in.
So take a look at this. It's strange, yeah, but also kind of poetic, right? This was written by the simple AI we're about to build, and all we did was train it on the complete works of Shakespeare. It's obviously not perfect, but you can already see it's picked up a certain style.
So, the real question is, how on earth do you get from a 1 MB text file of Shakespeare to a model that can generate its own new, even if it is slightly nonsensical, prose? That is the core question we are going to answer right now. The answer, and you might find this hard to believe, doesn't start with understanding things like grammar or meaning or plot. Nope, it all starts with something much, much simpler.
The entire incredibly complex task of generating language, it all boils down to this one thing: training a machine to get really, really good at guessing what single character comes next in a sentence. That's it.
And that system, well, that's what we call a language model. To train ours, we're going to feed it all of Shakespeare's plays and sonnets just smashed together into one long string of characters. The model's only job is to read along that string and constantly try to predict the very next letter. Of course, there's a small problem. Computers don't read letters, they read numbers. So our first step has to be something called tokenization. We build a vocabulary of every unique character in the text, A, B, C, even spaces and commas, and we just assign each one a unique number. Suddenly, all of Shakespeare becomes this massive sequence of integers. Okay, so let's build our first super basic model. This is going to show us, immediately, the single biggest challenge in getting a machine to generate language. This is what's called a bigram model. It's about as simple as it gets. If it sees the letter Q, it learns that, hey, U is probably going to come next. That's all it does. Its entire memory, its whole understanding of the world is just one character long.
And right away, you can see the fatal flaw, can't you? Without knowing any of the words or sentences that came before, the text it tries to write just devolves into complete gibberish. So the crucial question becomes, how do we give the model a longer memory? How do we give it a sense of context?
And this is where everything changes. This is the major breakthrough that comes from an architecture called the transformer. It's this incredible mechanism that allows the model to look at all the previous words and decide how important they are, not just the last one.
It's called self-attention. And what it does is it gives every single character or token the ability to look back at all the characters that came before it and decide for itself which ones are the most relevant for figuring out what should come next. It's basically a way for all the pieces of the text to talk to each other.
So how does this communication actually happen? Well, it's this really clever 4-step dance. First, every token creates a query. Think of it like a question. Hey, I'm a noun and I'm looking for a verb that describes what I'm doing. Then, at the same time, every token creates a key. This is like an advertisement. Hey, I'm a verb and here's the kind of action I represent. Then, the model compares every single query with every single key to see who's a good match. And when it finds a strong connection, that's the final step. The value, the actual useful information, gets passed along.
The coolest part is that these aren't hard-coded grammar rules. It's a totally dynamic conversation that's driven entirely by the data the model was trained on. The tokens literally learn which other tokens are important in which situations. It gives them this rich, flexible understanding of the whole sequence. Okay, so this self-attention thing is super powerful, but it's actually just one piece of the puzzle. To build the full engine, we have to assemble it into a repeatable unit, and that's called a transformer block. A transformer block really has two main phases. The first phase is communication. We actually run multiple attention processes at the same time. That's the multi-head part, which lets tokens ask different kinds of questions all at once. The second phase is computation. After all that talking, each token gets some time to think on its own about everything it just learned. And it does this using what's called a feed-forward network. And then we just stack these blocks. Communicate, compute, over and over again to build a really deep, powerful network. So, after we build and train this much more sophisticated model, our little nano GPT, on all that Shakespeare, what kind of text do we actually get? Well, the output is way, way better. I mean, let's be real, it's still nonsense, but look closely. It's learned sentence structure. It's learned how to format dialogue. It's even picked up on thematic words like mighty lord. This shows us that the architecture is really working. It is learning the patterns. So here's the big question.
If our model still just babbles, why can ChatGPT write complex essays? The answer isn't some secret, magical new algorithm. It's about one thing and one thing only: scale.
Let's just put this into perspective for a second. Our little nano GPT has about 10 million parameters. You can think of those like knobs the model can tune to get better. GPT-3, it has 175 times billion. We trained our model on 1 megabyte of text. GPT-3 was trained on a huge chunk of the entire internet, around 300 billion tokens of data.
So yeah, that is over 17,000 times more parameters. The fundamental ideas, the architecture we just talked about, it's the same. But the sheer mind-boggling scale is what transforms its abilities from generating quaint nonsense into writing coherent, genuinely useful text. Okay, so let's just pull this all together. At their absolute heart, these incredible models are simply next token prediction engines. The secret sauce that gives them context is that self-attention mechanism. That mechanism gets packaged into transformer blocks that basically let the model alternate between talking and thinking. And finally, the amazing things we see them do today, that's a direct result of applying this same architecture at an almost unimaginable scale. When you boil it all down, the core ideas are actually surprisingly simple and elegant. The massive difference between our little Shakespeare model and something like ChatGPT really just comes down to applying those same ideas with massively more data, more compute, and more parameters. Which leaves us with one really fascinating final question to think about. Just how far can we go by just scaling this simple, powerful architecture?